So it is my intention to fulfill the dream of the Creator. It is my intention to live to the highest calling and be pressed to the mark of the highest calling that I have come to do.
People like me, I was born in a very poor family. I never got a great education. I failed all the examinations. For what reason, I don't know. But later, I realized I don't have money, I don't have technology, I don't have a lot of good backgrounds. We have a rich uncle or something, no. The only thing I competed with my people, the young people, is let's compete for 10 years later. This is what I believe 10 years later will be happening. So everything I do for that goal, I know 10 years later, this thing is going to happen. So prepare for that. Because I know if I compete with him for next month, no chance. So this is how my message is up. It's a challenge, but it's an opportunity.
A small business owner, or for that matter, a large business owner, has never stopped thinking about how to delight your customer. Not to satisfy your customer, but to delight your customer. And when you wake up in the morning, start thinking about it. During the day, think about it. At night, think about it, and then dream about it.
You got to make a decision. If you have that little voice inside of you that says you can do more, you have to give attention to that voice, and you got to feed it with those that support that idea that you can do more.
One of the most difficult choices I have ever faced in life was in 2008. I think I had maybe $30 million left, or $30 or $40 million left in 2008. And I had two choices. I could put it all into one company, and then the other company would definitely die, or split it between the two companies. But if I split it between the two companies, then both might die. When you put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating something, or building something, it's like a child. And so it's like, which one am I going to let one starve to death? I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I split the money between the two. Fortunately, thank goodness, they both came through.
Why has it always come to money?
Why not? I mean, everything you got on costs money. Everything you do costs money. You can't take your wife on a date for free.
Is that how you measure your success?
No. I'm loyal and honest. And I'm a good person. And I call a spade a spade. Money don't make me, I make money. And without money, I'd be the same person. I fought so many fights for free.
There are two ways, my friends, to build the biggest building in town. Step number one, just build the biggest building in town. Step number two, build a decent sized building and then spend all your time trying to tear down everybody else's building around you down so you end up being the biggest building in town. My friend, 95% of people try to do number two.
Poverty hurts. I mean, I don't like it. And I don't like that our academic system's so corrupt. You know, we know the banking system's corrupt. We know politics is corrupt. But academics is just as corrupt.
I carry two phones with me. This small one is only known by my family and very, very close friends. And when it rings, I'll always answer it. This phone, this larger one, probably 10,000 people have this number. Many managers think, well, you know, if I give my number out to my employees, they may call me. and the truth is, you want to hear from them. You want to hear the bad news first. And what I found is the more people I give this number to, the less it rings. I tell them simply, look, I want you to have this access because I respect you, and I want you to know that you can come to me.
When you paper trade, it's completely different than real money. The reason for that is when you have real money in the market, there's more emotions involved. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard trading is 80% psychology and 20% technical indicators and skill sets. So with that being said, the only way you're going to learn the psychological aspect, the only way you're going to learn how you get emotional, if you get greedy, if you get fearful, is by you having real money.
When you are 20 to 30 years old, you should follow a good boss, join a good company to learn how to do things properly. When you're 30 to 40 years old, if you want to do something yourself, just do it. You still can't afford to lose, to fail. But when you're 40 to 50 years old, my suggestion is that you should do things that you are good at, right? And not do things that, oh, that's very interesting, I want to try something new. It's a bit dangerous more. When you're 50 to 60 years old, spending time training and developing young people, the next generation. When you're over 60 years old, better stay with your grandchildren.
I haven't paid my rent in like a month. I'm like, Mom, you know, the rent, where's the rent at? She's like, are you reading your Bible? I said, Mom, come on. I don't have time to talk about that right now, Mom. I'm late. Like, I need the rent money. Are you reading your Bible? Mom, no. When you read your Bible, then we'll talk about rent. Another week, 2 weeks go by. Mom, they're going to evict me if you don't give me this rent money. Mom, I'm serious. Have you read your Bible? Yes. Okay, well, then let's talk about rent. Mom, I don't want to talk about the scriptures. I need the money. A month goes by. I get eviction notice on my door. They're about to kick me out. I'm like, Mom, I go to her house. I got the eviction notice. She said, talk to me when you read your Bible. I can't talk to you right now. I just leave. I go home. I said, man, let me open this Bible up. Open the Bible up. 6 rent checks fall out. She put all my rent checks.
Oh
in the
my
Bible.
goodness.
It is so important that you encourage yourself, because in this day and time, in this day of social media, in this day where you are bombarded with negativity constantly, every minute, every second, no matter, you don't even have to look for it, it'll find you. And you carry it on your person. Sometimes it's in a pocket close to your heart.
Yeah.
You pull your phone out and there it is close to your heart. You have got to encourage yourself and protect yourself from all the negativity.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
Life is about making your dreams come true, but in order to make your dreams come true, don't think it's gonna come and fall from the sky to your lap. You actually gotta put in the work. You gotta be ambitious. You gotta network. You gotta become better, great at what you do. You gotta be able to take criticism. Like, believe it or not, y'all be saying that I don't take criticism, but yes, I do. That's why when people be like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, I practice so I could become better and better.
Behind every moment of adversity in your life, there is a blessing and a lesson. Every moment of adversity has those 2 things. Pain always leaves a gift. Always. It's not going to change for you.
Can anybody have 10 or 15 or 20 times our IQ at 100? No. Well, then why do people every day achieve 10 or 20 or 50,000 times more than we? If they can't have an IQ 10 or 20 or 30 times more than ours. Because they dream bigger than we.
As you all know, it's a hot motherfucker. Nice heat wave. Mother Nature's a pissed off motherfucker, but guess what? So am I. So who gives a fuck? Today I was running, and this guy passes me in the car. And it's about 100 degrees out here, 70% humidity. And the guy comes back around, looks at me. He pulls his car by me and says, why the fuck are you out here? I said, because you're not. Sometimes your motivation needs to be because no one else wants to fucking do it. We need doctors. We need fucking lawyers. We need dentists. We need teachers. We also need fucking savages. This message I do is not for fucking everybody. So I don't want to see that soft bullshit about, do you have sunscreen on? This message is dangerous. It's too hot. I'm not asking you to fucking be like me. Do you. Stay hard.
If I leave you with nothing else, just know this for sure. There is not one thing that has ever happened to you, not one experience, not one encounter, not one crisis, not one joyful thing that hasn't happened just to make you better and help you rise. Every single thing you're calling in, whether you know it or not, and when you figure out that you are calling it in, when you actually start meditating or praying or doing or having a spiritual practice, which is the number one thing you need if you want to be successful in the world. You need something that gives back and nourishes you, regardless of what you call that. You need to fill your cup so that you can be so full your cup runneth over and you have enough to give to other people. If you don't fill your cup, you end up dried up. I think in order to actually do the stuff, money is important. But I also think the thing that I hold the dearest, and the reason why the noise about running for president moved me so humbly and deeply, is because it means that you have somewhere in the work gained the people's trust.
Yes, you have.
And there is nothing more important to me than having the trust of the people.
In fact, I've told students, if when they got out of school, they got a punch card with 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life, they would get very rich because they would think very hard about each one. And you don't need 20 right decisions to get very rich. 4 or 5 will probably do it over time.
I would take a $100 bill and rip it in half, and I'd say, $50, don't even look at it. Don't look at it. Now, this other 50 you can play with, do whatever you want, but if you're smart, you'll rip this 50 up, and you save that. And now this $25, do whatever you want. You want a house of 10,000 square feet, do it. You want cars, do it, but keep it right here.
Don't use credit cards. Of all the investments you'll ever make, paying 19%, or 18% on something is easily the dumbest. That's money that you should be keeping, you can be saving. It's a different world now because you can be a smart consumer. You have the ability to price check anything on Amazon or Walmart.com, and you know what you need to save for, or put it on layaway with them now.
Okay, this is the first thing I'm gonna say. If you don't like selling, you should really take the time for yourself to practice it and learn it, because all of life is sales. I mean, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a stay-at-home mother and you're trying to sell your kids on why they need to go to bed at a certain time or they need to do something that you need them to do. In an interview, you have to sell yourself. I mean, and so I think it's really important to be able to do that. And hardcore door-to-door sales was incredible groundwork and laid the foundation for me to be able to do Spanx, because when I started Spanx, the first 2 years that I was cold calling all the manufacturers in North Carolina, I only heard one word. No.
Yeah.
I mean, no, no, no. And because I had training and just knew I'm going to keep going till I get that yes, that's the reason that I was able to get through that stage.
When you get older, you care less, what people think about you. And I have had to really work on that. I think that's one of the biggest things you have to work on when you are put into the spotlight, is not caring about what people say about you, because you just become like this open forum to anybody, anything, anyone. And if you start reading your own press, it will ruin you.
I would, be out and about, and I would hear girls or actresses or musicians or whatever, they would say, oh no, I don't want to be in a relationship because I don't want to have to choose between being in a relationship and having a career. And I thought to myself, well, when I get to know that, when I find that person that's going to be my, life partner, I won't ever have to choose, because they'll be accepting of me completely for who I am. Not me being able to just do whatever I want necessarily, but they won't be threatened or have weird motives or whatever. They will be accepting of me, the things I love, the ambition, what I aspire to be, what I want to create. They'll be accepting and supportive.
You got to have a plan. Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got a goal. What's the plan?
And your plan has got to have something I call the C5 complex. Your plan has got to be clear, concise, compelling, consistent, and committed. You've got to have a plan. And when you're trying to do something that you're truly passionate about, there is no plan B.
Okay.
Plan B sucks.
All right.
Now, if you've ever been called dumb, unattractive, overweight, unworthy, untalented, well, so have I. Whatever you do, don't let negativity of people projecting their own self-doubts on you deter you from your focus. I know those moments are painful, and you're human, and it hurts like hell, but now is the time to turn those criticisms into fuel and motivation to become a beautiful beast.
If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you're fucked. You got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over.
But you are on Instagram. Yeah, but I don't. If you look at my Instagram, I'm not posting a selfie every day. I post about songs. I'm like promoting stuff. And if I post, everything is to promote stuff. And when I've got nothing to promote, I'm off. I'm not. I don't.
So you're using them. They are not using you in a way.
Instagram is a promotional tool. Yeah. That is the point of Instagram. Whenever I see a selfie, I want to reach out to that person and be like, are you having an all right day? Because that is them wanting, they're having a shit day and they want people to be like, oh my God, you look amazing. And that'll make them, that'll bring them up. And it's never, but it's quite a serious thing. I think like Instagram, it has this like, I'm not ragging on Instagram. Social media in general has this like sheen of like life is perfect, and it makes everyone else feel like shit because they're like, well, why isn't my life perfect? But really the person behind the thing posting the perfect life is having a shit day, and they want people to be like, oh my God, this is great. And it's all smoke and mirrors basically.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every poor decision you've made in your life. Gosh. There was more emotion that was involved in it than there was mind. Every single one of them. Think about it. Really was. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up.
If you wake up in the morning, you start having negative thoughts. Man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping. I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop. Just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have, because what you have is substantial.
So if I asked your audience right now, or all you guys, what do you think most people focus on more, what they have or what's missing?
The latter.
What's missing. And including super achievers. Like some of the biggest achievers are always focused on what's missing because they're always trying to get to the next level. So what happens? As a result, when you're always focused on what's missing, you cannot sustain happiness. It has nothing to do with how intelligent you are. It's just like software. So you always look at what's missing so you never feel fulfilled or alive, right? And so you keep being on the hamster wheel trying to do more and it's never enough. That's what people end up being pushing and pushing and pushing, and you see them burn out, they have everything and they're miserable.
Yeah, I see too many kids get so discouraged because they're expecting to make this quantum leap, and when that quantum leap doesn't come, it feels like it'll never come, right? But that's not how it works. It's step by step. One foot in front of the other, day by day, get better every single day. And then when you look back, then you look down and you realize the mountain that you just scaled, right? But you can't jump from the bottom of Everest and get to the top of Everest like that. It doesn't happen. You know, Superman is only in comics.
It's okay to be unbalanced for a while. It's okay. Don't be all this stuff people say, you got to be balanced. To be the best in the world at what you do. It's not about being a Navy SEAL, people. The best at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great. And it takes being obsessed to where people think you're crazy.
You can't tell God how to bless you. See, you can't tell him what you want and then tell him how to do it. Because it ain't gonna ever be the way you want it to. Because if where you at today, if God had showed you what you would have to go through to get to where you are today, you would turn back. You would go, oh, no. I don't want that part. I don't want to do that. I don't want that part. You would have missed who you are today. Because in order to get to who you are, you had to go through every single thing you went through. You wouldn't even know what you know. You know, you hear old people say all the time, You can't have a testimony without a test. Quit tripping during the process. Oh, Lord, why me? You ain't the only one. Oh, Lord, why me? You ain't the only one. Oh, Lord, why I lose my job? You ain't the only one unemployed. Oh, Lord, why he leave me? You ain't the first chick got left. This might not even be your last time getting left. Pull yourself together and quit tripping because you in the process. God is processing you. He ain't through with you. If he was through with you, you would not wake up in the morning. He gonna fix it.
An introvert loses energy from social interaction. An extrovert gains energy from social interaction. So an introvert wakes up in the morning with 5 coins. Every social interaction, they spend a coin. At the end, they are depleted. An extrovert wakes up with no coins. Every social interaction, they get a coin, and by the end, they feel rich. Like going to a party, gives them energy, versus going to a party sucks your energy. What I have learned is I have a big personality, but I'm still an introvert. So what I've learned is that it doesn't matter which one you are. The question is how do you leverage what you got, right? And so I go to parties with an extrovert, right? Because that way they can do all the talking and I can just stand there and just eat the cheese.
I have so many affirmations that I do, and I've done affirmations for a long, long time. I feel like they really do, that I believe that how you think, and I teach my kids this, your thoughts create your life. And so you have to think positive thoughts all the time. You have to force yourself to think positive thoughts at times. And so I do a lot of different affirmations. I'm open and receptive to all the goodness and abundance the universe has to offer.
Your life is like a stock chart. Stocks take dips and everything. When your life takes a dip, it ain't time to trip. It ain't time to sell the stock. You got to remember your life. You a blue chip stock. It takes dips. Coca-Cola takes dips. Disney, Facebook takes dips. You don't sell the stock because it took a dip. You got to look at what made the stock great in the first place. This little stock is about to go pew. It's going to shoot up again. You are a blue chip stock. If you think of yourself as a blue chip stock, how can they downgrade you? Success is not how far you got. Because, see, you're going to be disappointed all the time. Because somebody always further than you. So now you'll forever be disappointed. Success ain't how far you got. Success is how far you got from where you started. That's your success. You know that you can't think of something that can't happen? You know it's impossible to think of the impossible? It's not possible. So if you think it, it's possible. And if you live your life in possibilities instead of probabilities, you have a greater chance of finding happiness. Seriously, never live your life in probability. Probability is the probability of something happening. There's a statistic attached to a probability. 1 in every 3,000 people do this. That's a probability. A possibility has no stats attached to it. Live your life in possibilities and you'll change it. Just change the way you think.
The most important thing is to be able to define which ones you can come to an intelligent decision on and which ones are beyond your capacity to evaluate. You don't have to be right about thousands and thousands and thousands of companies. You only have to be right about a couple. I met Bill Gates on July 5th, 1991. We were out in Seattle, and Bill said, "You've got to have a computer." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "You can do your income tax on it." I said, "I don't have any income. Berkshire doesn't pay a dividend."
Be you. Be yourself. Whether it's in entertainment, whether it's out in public, whether you're a celebrity or not, whatever. And the most powerful thing you can be is yourself.
And you know, cash is king. Do you have an ATM card? I'm the human ATM.
How do you even get this much money? What do you do?
Work hard.
I have a Lamborghini truck, I have a Bentley truck, I have a Maybach, and I have a Suburban, so
okay,
5.
5 cars. Now, here's my biggest question. You can't drive.
No.
So what's the point of having the cars?
To take pictures with it.
Being at a net worth of 230 billion, roughly, being perceived as the richest person on Earth.
Well, I think Putin is significantly richer than me.
You really do, yeah?
Yes.
You're selling your houses. You say you don't want any material possessions, and I've been seeing all that, and I've been really excited to talk to you about this.
I think possessions kind of weigh you down. Then they're kind of an attack vector. People say, "Hey, billionaire, you got all this stuff." Like, well, now I don't have stuff. Now what are you going to do?
Do not go into a job thinking about money. Because if you go into a job thinking about money, you're not going to get the most out of it. If you go into a job loving it, being passionate about it, you're going to get everything you got coming out of it. But if you go into that job saying, I'm going to make a whole lot of money, this job's going to pay me this, you ain't going to get nothing out of it. You have to love it first.
Because if you're chasing money, it runs. All right? If you're making money, it's different. All right? So for people that are entrepreneurs, there's no cut in the corner. There's no magic bullet. There's no cheat sheet. It's really simple, as complex as it may sound. Hard work. Work hard. Believe in yourself. They tell me all the time, Chico, that's another name that I got, by the way. They say, Chico, you're so lucky, Chico. I say, man, you know what's funny? Harder I work, luckier I get.